everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and I am so excited to be telling you about my Victober TBR. This is only my second Victober and already I am thrilled that October is coming, which is really good actually because I hate Halloween. The prompts this year are really wonderful. My TBR may be slightly ambitious, but we will see how many of these I get to. For the challenge to read a book with a female main character, I will be picking up Wuthering by Emily Bronte. This is a reread for me. I read this in AP Literature in my senior year of high school, and indeed in my freshman year of university, but I haven't gone back to it since then. So I'm very excited to be rereading it. Kathy is of course one of the main characters. In addition, this is the read for Marissa's Bronte project in October, so I am thrilled to be reading it for both challenges. Next, for the challenge to read a popular book, I will be picking up Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. I took an entire seminar on Thomas Hardy in my final year of university, but we did not get to Jude the Obscure. We ended with Tess of the D'Urbervilles instead. And I've heard mixed reviews. I have heard that it is utterly depressing, and I have heard that it is utterly beautiful. So I'm intrigued to see what I think of it. I don't know much about the plots of most of these books, if they're new to me, that is. But what I've been able to piece together about Jude the Obscure is that it's about a man named Jude who lives at times in the countryside doing menial farm labor, that sort of thing, but who is also incredibly well educated in the town of Christminster, which is based on Oxford or Cambridge, one of those highly prestigious university towns, and about his feeling outcast, about having all of this education but nothing to do with it, and feeling just incredibly useless. So I'm intrigued to see what I think of it. And finally, for the challenge to read a sensation novel, I will be reading Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. This is an incredibly popular sensation novel, and I've tried to avoid spoilers for it, and hopefully it worked. So thus I know absolutely nothing about this plot, except that Lady Audley has a secret, or possibly several secrets, that are utterly shocking. And I've heard wonderful things about the rest of Mary Elizabeth Braddon's work as well, so I am very excited to read this. I will also be trying to read Gothic Tales by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is the group read for this year. I am hoping to borrow an e-book copy from my library, and this is the first time I will actually be reading an e-book, so we'll see how I feel about that. But I am so excited to read these Gothic short stories, especially Lois the Witch. That has been on my TBR for a few years now. And since they are short stories, hopefully I will be able to move through them rather quickly. There are a few books that I'm hoping to squeeze onto my TBR this month. The first is Mugby Junction by Charles Dickens and a few other authors who I hadn't heard of before, who are Charles Collins, Amelia Edwards, Andrew Halliday, and Hesba Stretton. I saw this on Katie of Books and Things channel last year when she read it for Victober. So I was thrilled when I found this at a local book sale. And it is a collection of short stories on which Charles Dickens collaborated with these other Victorian authors about the fictional train station of Mugby Junction. And each of the short stories takes place on a stop or a railway line that somehow connects to Mugby Junction, which I think is just the coolest idea. And it's a fairly short collection, so again, hopefully I will be able to move through this quickly and thus fit it on my TBR for the month. Those of you who have known me for a while know that every month I try to read at least one nonfiction book. So for Victober, I thought I would listen to Stephen Fry's Victorian Secrets on Audible. I have been loving audiobooks while I laze about the house or as I drive home from work on Fridays. I have heard fabulous things about this audiobook. I think it is just Stephen Fry and perhaps many other experts in Victorian history giving us fun tidbits and overviews of life in the Victorian era. What could go wrong? There are also two other books that I might work into my TBR for the month. The first is one that I have ordered and that has not arrived yet, and that is The Warden by Anthony Trollope. I have heard nothing but wonderful things about his writing, but I haven't read any of it yet, and I know that The Warden is the best place to start his Barchester Chronicles series. I will definitely be reading that soon, hopefully in Victober, but if not, definitely in the next couple of months. And finally, I found Some Experiences of an Irish RM by Edith Somerville and Martin Ross for free on Kindle. So if reading ebooks goes well, I am very excited to read this. I got it on Kindle because it is almost impossible to find in physical copy these days. This is I'm not sure if it's a novel or a collection of short stories, but it was written in 1889, I believe. I'm sorry, 1899, so just within the Victorian era. And it is the story of Major Yates, who is an English judge, or at least a barrister, who is sent to Ireland to become this small town's resident magistrate, since Ireland was under English rule at the time. And he and, when his wife comes over, his wife Philippa, have to get used to the seemingly extraordinary customs in this town and all of the incredible characters that they are living with. I've loved the television show for years, since I was very, very young, although admittedly I've only watched the first season, but I adore the first season. So I'm hoping that I love the original portrayal of these characters just as much. So there you have it. That is my list of what I am excited to read this month. Let me know down below what you are thinking of reading this month. If you're looking for recommendations, if you have other recommendations for me based on what I am going to read. If you didn't love any of the titles that I mentioned, though, please don't tell me. Wait until my wrap-up at the end of October, and then we can discuss what we both thought of them. Until next time, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye, everyone. Also, did I mention I'm in my Victober shirt? It's very sad because you can't see it on camera when I'm sitting in a comfortable position.